always see that guy on the Tiger. Or maybe that's the Tenere. Who knows? Oh, it smells like dead fish. Good morning, everybody. Riding to work again. I want to talk today about why I like Yamaha so much. It's not to say that's the only brand I'll ever buy, but I've bought 2 Yamahas, and I like them, and I got a bunch of reasons why I like Yamaha as a brand. You'll notice today that it's what looks like really foggy. I don't know how much of it you're actually going to be able to see on the camera, but it's because there's a bunch of forest fires out here in Washington and some in British Columbia. And today's, I think by far, well, maybe not by far, but probably the worst day I've seen. But the thing is, we haven't seen it at all over the last few days. We saw it a few weeks ago, and it kind of lingered around for a while, and eventually went away. But now, I guess, must have been quite a bit of fires, and quite a few fires, whatever, in eastern Washington. And it's kind of crazy because we didn't see it almost at all yesterday. And I wake up this morning, and it's just kind of got like an orange light outside everywhere, and it's almost like the sun's coming up later than usual, but really it's just behind the smoke. It's kind of funny, when I check the weather app on my phone, it'll actually say smoke, which I didn't think was a forecast or anything, but apparently it is. So usually in the winter it's the Seattle rainy overcast fog, but today in the early fall, late summer, it's this weird kind of off-white smoke. Actually, maybe you see the moon up there. It's bright red. I guess that's the sun. Geez, it's pretty cool. My brother was texting me. He took his bike into work this morning too, and he said he thinks they did. We were talking. Oh man, is it the smoke? I wonder if it's back. I wonder why it's like that outside. And he was saying, yeah, he actually sees ash falling. You can't see it on the camera, of course, but when I left the house, I could see some small white particles kind of dropping every few seconds here and there, which is kind of crazy because I gotta imagine we're a few hundred miles away from the fires out here in Seattle. Anyway, back to Yamaha. I'm certainly open to other brands, and I like bikes from other brands, but I feel like Yamaha covers a lot of bases that other brands don't. And of course, they make great bikes. No arguing with that. I mean, first of all, is the reliability. A lot of the Japanese brands have pretty damn good reliability, so it's not to say that this makes Yamaha so unique, but I mean, it's no secret they make very reliable bikes, and that's really important to me. I'm not the guy who wants to be working on my bike more than I'm riding it, especially with fuel injection and everything this day and age. It's nice to have a bike that you can rely on and just kind of do the basic things to take care of it, and know that it'll run for a while. They make very good bikes too. Mine's not really a super sport, but the R6 and the R1, have been kind of kicking ass in the super sport division. That's not to say that they're the best, because there's, all those bikes are kind of so close and neck, and one year one of them wins, the shootouts or whatever, reviews they have. But there's, they definitely have some of the best bikes out there, some of the fastest bikes, and they got long heritage and all that. And one thing that is probably the most important for me is not necessarily just the variety of the bikes, but some of the niche bikes that I think other brands are missing. One of the huge ones for me is the off-road kind of enduro trail. Maybe on the website they call them cross-country. Pretty much the dirt bikes that aren't strictly for motocross. WR and the YZX. I think those bikes are awesome. I think it's great that in 2015 or whatever it was that they brought them in, kind of to make an effort to, I guess, have KTM let go of their stranglehold on the trail riding market. And that's mostly what I do in the dirt, is trail riding. I don't really go to tracks, so I think it's cool that they're getting serious about it. Putting the same suspension as they have on the motocross bikes, the same engine, just with some enduro-specific changes. And they're really great bikes. I haven't ridden any of the new ones, and I hope to someday get a new WR or YZ250X or something, or FX or something. But they get great reviews. Everybody loves them. The KYB suspension is apparently the best in the market. So that's one big one for me, and I think that's great. Another one is, I mean, of course, I think the R1 and the R6, the new R6 in 2017 and the R1 over the last few years, I think those are awesome looking bikes. I think those are some of the best looking super sports out there. I kind of wish they would have changed the engine on the R6, just because, if I were to buy one, it would be what I believe is the same engine as this bike. This is definitely detuned a little bit, but I think it's pretty cool how the FZ09 and the FJ09 have that cross-plane triple, and the R1 has the cross-plane 4. So I think it would have been sweet if they would have given the R6 a cross-plane engine to give it kind of that unique sound. I think they both, like I said, look really great. I think it would have been really cool if they took the undertail dual exhaust that the R1 used to have, and then when they took that away for 2015, I think it would have been fucking awesome, excuse my language, I think it would have been awesome if they took that undertail exhaust, not necessarily identical, but took that theme of the undertail exhaust and put it on the 2017 R6. I think it would have been a cool way to, because they look similar with the tail. They kind of got those scoops in the tail, and they've got the similar lights in the front, which I think look great. I think it would have been cool if the R6 kind of followed in the footsteps with that. Though, I guess mass centralization and keeping the weight low on the bike, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's not ideal. Another big one for me is the FJ09 and all the FZ bikes. The FZs, I think, are extremely popular because they're, of course, the fun street fighter. They're kind of low and nimble, and they look good. The FZ09 is extremely popular. I think the FJ09 is an awesome idea for a bike. It's not as big as the FJR and all the other big sport tours, and it's really quick and light and nimble. And that's another bike that I've kind of been thinking of getting down the road. And you can it's still comfortable and has some of the features like ride modes and stuff. But it's it's not. I feel like those bigger bikes are almost a little overkill in my opinion. They weigh like 650 pounds. The FJ09 weighs like 460, so it would honestly be almost an exact weight change for my bike with a little bit more power and a little bit more modern. So I think that's an awesome bike. The WR250R is the street legal dual sport. I actually used to own one of those, and it was a great bike. I think it's kind of a tough love-hate thing because it's pretty heavy, but I think it's good that they're making a very capable off-road dual sport. Maybe there's the sun again. It definitely doesn't compete with the KTMs or the Husqvarnas as far as off-road capability and lightweight and engine power and stuff. But it's a better, it's a better bike than the Honda CRF 250L and the Kawasaki KLX 250S. But yeah, I think their bikes look great. I think they have a lot of variety, and they kind of hit a couple spots where maybe other brands don't. Honda's coming out with that new, I think it's the CB650F, which is kind of like their sports standard. It's got the super sport look, and I think it's a great looking bike. And I think it's kind of meant to be kind of similar to the FZ6R, which is I guess maybe you could say the successor of this bike. It's kind of their sports standard, a little bit more entry-level friendly. From what I hear, it's a little bit more powerful on the low end. It's not quite as fast or as powerful, at its max power, but it's a little bit more user-friendly because it's got a broader power band. And I really think that's a great looking bike. I'm not sure I'd ever buy one. I really like this bike. I think it's a pretty good balance, but I think, they just have a lot of bikes that other brands don't. And I really, I'm sure some of you guys have heard about the T7, which is meant to be coming to the U.S. in 2018. I really have a feeling it's not going to be as great as the concept seemed, under 400 pounds, long travel suspension. But man, it would be sick if it was, because that thing, I think, would have been awesome. There's no other bike like it. Here comes the fun turn. We'll take it a little bit faster this time. I don't know if I said that right, but the T7 is what I was talking about. For some reason I feel like I said the FJ09, but T7 I think could be such an awesome bike. There aren't any kind of I guess big dual sports with rally body work like that aren't 1000cc. I think the 700, I think it's a twin, is a great size. If it stays under 400 pounds, that would be unbelievable. I'm feeling it'd be pretty expensive if it stayed that light and, you know, had that long travel suspension and fully adjustable and all that. But there's really no other bike out there like it. There's the Africa Twin and everything, which I know everybody loves, but that is a big bike and it's quite a bit heavier. I think it's over 500 pounds. And all the Triumph, you know, the Triumph Tiger and the V-Strom and the GS's, I think are all above 500 pounds as well. But they're great for carrying luggage and stuff. And then you got a bike like the DR650 and the XR650 and the KTM 690 and the Husqvarna 701. I think the 701 is a sick bike. But it, you know, you have to maybe put a bunch of body work on it. It's not really, I don't think it's really built to carry a ton of luggage. It's more of like a big, almost like a trail bike. I mean, everything about it looks very much like their smaller engine bikes. And I think this T7 would be, without question, the most aggressive, big, full-fare dual sport, and it'd be the perfect rally bike. So I hope they do make maybe a dirt version or something. Some of the spy photos made it seem like it wasn't going to be that great. The only complaint I have with Yamaha is no supermoto. I think they can make the WR250R into a WR450R, give it a little bit more power, and then bring back the 450X, and it would be better than the DRZ 400 SM in every way if they made it fuel injected, 6-speed, all that. So maybe I'll talk about that in another video, but I think that would be awesome. That's one of my biggest, I guess, dreams, is getting a factory supermoto that is ready to go right out of the box and not super heavy and stuff. And maybe I'll talk about that in a different video because I got a bunch of opinions on what I think would be good. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I love Yamaha. I know there are other one brand guys out there, and I'm certainly, you know, I would buy another bike down the road when it comes time. But I mean, the honest truth is, for me, a lot of the bikes that I'm looking at, Yamaha does a great job. The off-road bikes, Yamaha are some of the best. The FJ09 is very unique, and I think that's an awesome bike. And the R6 has been one of the best for years. And I think it looks great now that they just revised it. I'm curious to see if other brands kind of update their 600 Super Sports. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for more videos coming up. Thanks.